In 2019, May 2019, my twin sister and I were both addicted to cocaine. The addiction got really bad with Gwen and really out of control. She was also on painkillers, and she has cystic fibrosis related arthritis, so she was on painkillers and just mixing them together. And of course, I was going through addiction myself,
Right.
but I wasn't in the deep end. She made a selfish choice, and unfortunately the addiction got to her brain and she wanted more cocaine. Next thing we know, we come out of the bedroom and she's gone. And I feel often really guilty that I had left my keys on the coffee table. She had taken them and decided to go on her way. Then she was already driving under the influence. She swerved off the road and ended up hitting a pedestrian, Mr. Coppage, and pinning his body against a fence, I believe, and just completely mutilating it.
The Highest Point Podcast. More than a pod, it's a lifestyle.
When you're saying feel like you're digging your own grave in there, can you tell us what does that mean? What's behind those lyrics?
That I feel like I'm really harsh on myself, and it affects my mental health a lot, that I'm always constantly very harsh on myself, and I always have a weight on myself that I create, and I feel like that's dragging me down and killing my spirit.
Right.
So that's basically what it means, because if your spirit's dead, you're basically the Walking Dead.
Yeah. Sometimes we're our biggest critics most of the time. And we can be very hard on ourselves. It's good to have high expectations for yourself, but you don't want to beat yourself up all the time.
Yeah.
Especially when you come short of something, you can't really let it get to you. You just got to keep pushing, because it's always going to be some kind of obstacle that you face.
Right.
No matter how good you're doing, no matter how bad you're doing, it's going to be an obstacle. So you can't let it get to you.
Yeah, and it can be easier said than done, but
practice.
I'm working hard on it. That's something I'm working on constantly every day, of just loving myself more and not being so harsh on myself. Maybe just being proud of myself for where I've gotten to, and learning that it's okay to feel proud of yourself, and that it's not being conceited to feel proud of
Celebrate yourself.
So I often felt like saying, "Oh, I'm proud of myself, of my accomplishments, and that I'm still here, and the obstacles I've kicked ass to." And but then I feel like I'm being conceited if I say, "Oh, you're doing good, like you're actually doing well."
Right.
So I'm just learning that that's okay to say to yourself and build yourself up.
Absolutely, because so many times people magnify our flaws. We'll also magnify our flaws, but we'll lack celebrating the great things we do.
Yeah.
You don't want to say it out loud, because I don't want to come across as I'm conceited or I'm full of myself. But in reality, you need to be full of yourself.
Exactly.
Like, because if you're not motivating yourself, who is? You know what I'm saying? And then that energy can be transferred to others.
Yes.
And I think it's very important. It's like, that's not conceited. It's not full of yourself. You need to keep yourself full. Everyone say cup half empty, cup half full. You need it to be full. Yep. And who's filling our tank? That's us.
Yep.
God. Whatever you believe in.
Oh, I believe in God.
Yeah. So that's big and major, and that's kind of what I was, getting when I heard that track. I also felt like you was coming from a place where, when you're saying seeing is believing, like some people may have told you some things. You're tired of just being told, but you're not, through their actions, you're not seeing it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I was feeling, and also music. It translates differently.
Yeah, no, I love how you perceive it that way. I love how you're perceiving and feeling it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love to hear what people think and how it made them feel.
Right. Because a lot of people don't lie and blow steam up my ass and like you lying, man. Get out here with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Now, also you brought up your sister as well, and I know a lot of reasons why you had this large YouTube following, large social media following. You guys collaborated on a lot of things. Can you give us a little insight on how she's doing and, how you guys started?
We started basically because we always have wanted to be singers and actresses. We did community theater for 7 years consecutively, The Wizard of Oz. And so we worked on that, and we performed, and we were actresses in school plays and other community theater plays. And we grew up on musicals such as The Wizard of Oz, obviously, and The Music Man, and just being a little child at 5 or 6 years old. And telling my parents, because my dad was there at the time, but telling my parents how much I wanted to do that with my life.
Right. Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
So we basically started ourselves one day, and we were really embarrassed of having cystic fibrosis for a long time. We would have friends come over to our house, and we would have to hide our machine away, and we would refuse to take our pills.
Oh, wow.
And it was just a cloud of shame. We just felt like, I guess, disgusted with ourselves, and we didn't want to be judged off of that.
Right.
Because I feel like, yes, it's a part of me, but it's not who I am.
Right.
So eventually we made a YouTube video about our cystic fibrosis, just coming out about the whole thing. And that's how our YouTube started growing followers. And then, of course, we started writing songs together and recording them on our iPhone and releasing them on iTunes. And then we did tons of covers over the years, obviously, as well.
Right.
And then we got signed to 102 Jam's Waleed Coyote, Others Records.
Right.
In 2015. And then she had her accident in 2019. But we made a few albums actually in the studio, and a couple EPs with the label. And it was going very well. But
the accident derailed a lot of things. Like aftermath.
They just dropped me off the label. They just completely ignored me forever after that. A lot of people migrated out of my life after that, so they didn't want anything to do with me.
They wanted to get away. They basically looped you in with that accident, and
they put it upon me. Yeah,
right.
They still do that to this day.
Which is unfair. Like, okay, that's your twin, but it's not who you are. And also everyone makes mistakes in life, so a lot of times people cast judgment. They cast blame as if they never screwed up or made a bad choice in life. And that's something that we got to really, be aware of. The things we cast out on other people. How would you feel if someone just magnified your lowest moment?
And I know that pretty much everyone that's probably watching this has, has probably driven under the influence of something.
Some way, yeah.
And gotten away with it and didn't hurt someone, thankfully, or themselves.
Right.
But you can't really judge someone when you've done the same thing, and it could have ended up with the same conclusion.
Yes, that's the truth.
Yeah, I definitely drove under influence quite a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Back then I did too.
Yeah.
Back then.
Like
right. And then I even been on the road. I don't smoke or drink, but I've driven when I knew I was dead tired.
Yeah.
I've driven, dozed off, got back on the road. I could have harmed someone. I could have harmed myself.
Yeah.
It was just irresponsible. So, I don't have the right to try to judge someone else because I could have done the same thing easily.
Yeah, it can happen to anybody.
And I feel like people, when they make these negative, rude comments like that, they don't really look inside themselves or their mind and take a second to say, oh, maybe I fucked up too.
Right. It's a deflection mechanism. People deflect on others so others won't look at them.
And that's no excuse for her accident, of course.
Yeah, it's not.
I was just saying
not.
that the reality is, you or your friends, you've been in the car with someone that's been driving under the influence, most likely, and at some point in your life. So
yeah, it's I definitely don't put it as a excuse at all and nothing like that. I just want everyone to realize that it can happen to anyone.
Yep, anyone. At
have
any
some
second.
empathy for the victim in the case, because obviously their family are the ones that have the biggest right to feel any type of way. But outsiders looking in, you could be on either side of that coin, and you just got to have some empathy and just go on.
The accident just shattered many people's lives. And it does hurt me that someone had to lose their life. And I think about it often, and I pray for Mr. Coppedge's family.
Right, absolutely.
And I really do hope that they're doing okay. I know how hard it is, and I'm still grieving and trying to get through it and learning to be happy again and not feeling guilty about being happy and just trying to live my life and realize that I deserve to have a life. I can't just let this absorb my entire being.
Right,
exactly.
right.
Now, for clarification, on my end and others that may not know, what happened?
In 2019, May 2019, my twin sister and I were both addicted to cocaine for about, 4 years, I would say. And the addiction got really bad with Gwen and really out of control. She was also on painkillers, and she has cystic fibrosis related arthritis, so she was on painkillers and just mixing them together. And it was impacting our career a lot at that point and our relationship. We broadcasted every day for a living.
Oh, wow.
And she would go on broadcast very, very out of it. And it was completely humiliating and embarrassing for me. And I would often have to stop the broadcast abruptly and talk to her and say, we're not doing this right now.
Right.
We're not doing this right now. And it just got completely out of hand. She wouldn't listen to anyone about anything. She just did whatever she wanted. And of course, I was going through addiction myself.
Right.
But I wasn't in the deep end with it. That's not an excuse.
Levels to
I'm
it.
not making an excuse for it, but it wasn't that deep.
Right.
And I still felt like the responsible one who had to pick her up when she was down. And I always worried if she would wake up in the morning. I always made sure she fell asleep and she was breathing. And most nights she would sleep with me just so I knew that she was okay.
Yeah.
And the addiction just got so bad that she made a selfish choice. And she came up to my girlfriend and I at the time and asked us if we felt that she was able to drive. And keep in mind, she didn't even have a license anymore. She had a DUI. She can't drive anyways.
Right.
So we said, absolutely, hell no, you can't drive. Do you see how you are right now?
Right.
And we kept reiterating it to her.
Right.
And we thought she got the point because it seemed like it. She finally was like, oh, okay, you're right. Like, I can't do this. And unfortunately, the addiction got to her brain and she wanted more cocaine.
Yeah.
So my girlfriend and I went to my bedroom to hang out because we thought everything was cool. She was fine.
Right.
And next thing we know, we come out of the bedroom and she's gone. And I feel often really guilty that I had left my keys on the coffee table. And she had taken them and decided to go on her way. And
Yeah.
that was the impact, and she was already driving under the influence. She swerved off the road and ended up hitting a pedestrian, Mr. Coppage, and pinning his body against a fence, I believe, and just completely mutilating it. And I've never seen the scene or anything. It's traumatic even trying to envision it in my head.
Yeah.
But so she basically told the police that she was me, and she used my license because she didn't have one. And the car was completely totaled.
So you were framed.
I
as
was
well.
framed. Yeah, I was framed, and that took a lot to forgive. But I feel like in my soul, I love her more than anything. She really is my best friend. We connect with everything. And I know that wasn't her at that point of time. But it took a lot, and I knew in my soul I couldn't be an angry person forever. And for my mental health and my emotional health and my growth, I really felt that I had to forgive, but I'm not going to forget, obviously. It's a lame saying, but I had to forgive.
Yeah. I mean, that's for your own peace.
Just for myself. I had to do it because I was tired of being an angry person.
Yeah.
Now, was it hard to get clarification on who it actually was, because y'all are twins?
Actually, the police or the hospital, one of them called me and said I need to come down to the hospital. My sister's there. They didn't say that she had accidentally killed someone.
Right.
They just said we need to come down. So I thought, oh, she just got in a wreck again. I got to go pick her up.
Right.
And so I walk into the hospital and they go, oh, there's the real Jessa Furches, like mocking it, like, oh, that's the real Jessa Furches right there. And that just really angered me.
They lack empathy for you.
And I was like, what do you mean the real Jessa Furches? Like, what's going on? So that's when I found out what had happened.
Right.
And damn, it was just so traumatic. My whole life just changed completely. Just everything was different.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole lot of emotions at once that's happening. You know, they're mocking you. You got this confusion going on. Then you got the emotion behind it when you find out that your sister is in this situation. But then also you feel like you're betrayed. It's like so many different things, and it'll take time for all that to heal. But one thing you said, it was hard for you to get over and not, blame yourself when it comes to those keys. But you took every initiative, you put forth your effort to advise her it's not a good idea. You done everything that you could. At the end of the day, we are adults. We make our own decisions. You try to provide some guidance. She made a choice and, didn't follow behind it. And also, I know I've had family members that's been addicted to cocaine. I have some that were functional cocaine addicts. I had some that were a complete different type of person.
No, she would pick her face all the time.
Right, so she was completely
I would have
different.
to literally confiscate the tweezers and put them in a special place so she would stop. Because she was, like, literally destroying her face.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And just standing in the mirror for hours and picking at it, creating all these bumps all over her face.
Right.
And she was just going mad, like losing her mind.
I mean, drugs can do that, especially with her mixing things. That can be, dangerous. So, even after this certain situation, is that what helped you, make it past your cocaine addiction?
I'll admit, when she first went to prison, I was just going through such a hard time that I did get back into it for about a year and a half. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was still functional, and
Right.
I was still working on music and trying my best just to survive. And I was just a complete emotional wreck. It's just still to this day when I just talk about it, I just get so emotional, and I'm trying not to cry, but I just get so emotional because I had her here my whole life with me, and she is gone.
Right. And it's hard.
And I feel like it's sometimes I'm not good enough alone, and I lost her. And
You're good enough.
I'm
alone.
not good enough by myself without my sister.
Well, I can tell you right here today, you're definitely good enough.
God, I'm sorry.
No, you're
No, it's
fine.
okay,
You're
it's
fine.
okay.
You got any? Can you grab a tissue for her? Like
You got some in here?
yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good, and you're definitely good enough. I follow you, your movement, your brand. I feel like it's so inspiring.
Thank you.
You coming up here, being able to talk about something like this, most people cannot
Thank you so much.
build it up in them to be able to speak like you're doing right now. So I commend you
Thank
a
you.
lot.
I'm
So,
sorry. I just get, this is such an emotional subject.
Yeah.
I think I'll always be forever emotional about it. Just,
Right.
But my whole life changed, and
Yeah.
I'm building it back because I realize, you know what, it might be different, but I got to do it, and
Right.
I just can't stop going. And I'm so blessed that I have a willpower in me that won't allow me to give up, and won't
Absolutely.
allow me to give up on my music or my acting or inspiring people, because all I've ever wanted to do in my life was just help one person, inspire one person with my music.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a blessing that I've inspired at least one person, and that's
sure.
just a fulfillment in my heart that I've always wanted.
Right.
And
Yeah. Well, you
I want to
definitely
help
doing that.
people the way that Michael Jackson helped me. And if sharing my story and my struggles helps with that, then I'm absolutely going to continue doing that. And that's why I appreciate you having me here and giving me an opportunity to have a voice.
Absolutely. And your voice is needed. I just want to let you know that, because a lot of people experience things like you have experienced, and they can't articulate it and put it into words like you have. And
It
be
took
so
a long
vulnerable.
time. It took
Yeah.
a long time for me to be
Yeah.
able to speak about it.
Right. Yeah. Understood. And it's you're being a voice for the voiceless, and that's so important. Because everyone can't get up here and talk. You got these lights in front of you, you make you just feel some type of way, but you're looking at the overall, how you can be an inspiration for others.
And how I can just be a better person.
Yeah, because this is
Right.
therapeutic. At the end of the day, you be able to get these things out. These are some more weight that can maybe be just
Yeah.
pulled off you.
Because often I feel like I don't really want to burden people in my life by speaking about it when I feel sad about it, or because I feel like I'm just annoying and bringing it up. And so it's nice to just release it on a podcast and get it over with and get it out of my system. And because I really don't want to sit here and just think about it my
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
life, like I've been saying. But
Right.
so that's why I never gave up on my music, even though I lost my record deal. I had really nothing, but something in me just told me to keep going, and I thank God for giving me the strength to do that. And
definitely Michael Jackson played a role in it. Always does. Like I said, just getting back up, being resilient.
Right.
Just keep going, man. One day at a time, you know?
Yeah, one day at a time.
Yep, exactly.
Keep
One
moving
moment at a
forward.
time for me.
Right.
Yeah. And I wanted to pivot also because we have another segment in the show called Love, Respect. What's the other one, T.O.?
Loyalty.
Or Loyalty.
Love, loyalty, or respect. What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So you basically let me know out of these three choices, which one will you choose? I'm going to give you a scenario. You let me know if you will prefer this person to love you, to have loyalty, or respect you.
Okay.
You with me?
Okay, so it's love, loyalty, respect.
Yep. Love,
Okay.
loyalty, or respect. So you got your, matter of fact, with this young man that's in this building today, you got a significant other, right? What's the most important in a relationship with your significant other? Love, loyalty, or respect?
That's hard.
Oh, it's hard now.
Oh,
Think about it now.
Take your time.
oh gosh, you guys are difficult.
Just to choose one.
Yeah.
Respect.
Let me know why.
I feel like it's very important to respect people, even if you aren't dating them or with them, but respect is always very important. And if you're a respectful person, I feel like that will lead to loyalty.
Yeah. Respect is very, very important.
You have to respect your significant other and respect their space and what they want and how they are, who they are. And
Absolutely.
I feel like that can lead to loyalty
Yeah.
and love, of course. So
Right. Yeah. Lead with respect. All right. So, love, loyalty, or respect when it comes to if you have children.
I have children. Oh,
Love, loyalty, or respect.
love. I want to give them. I want to give them an amazing childhood that I didn't have. I want to give them all the love in the world and give them inspiration to be who they want to be and definitely just brighten their world and be an amazing mother. I can't wait to have children. I've always wanted to adopt children. It's not my time now. Got to still get my career together and everything. But I've always wanted to adopt kids since I was a child, and I just feel like I want to give a child that doesn't have a home, an amazing home with lots of love, and of course respect will be there and loyalty, but
Love, number one.
they deserve to be loved and have a family where
Yeah.
they feel that they belong and that they're loved. I don't want any child just sitting there and thinking, "Oh, I'm unloved.
Right,
What's
right.
wrong with me?"
Yeah.
Because I was that child when my father left.
That's what I was thinking. Like, because if your father leave out, out of nowhere, does that make you feel like, okay, was I not worthy of
Yeah,
being
it made me
loved?
feel like, did you even love me to begin with? Like, what did I do something wrong? Like, is it my
Right.
cystic fibrosis that
Right.
made you leave? Like,
Yeah.
and I never want a child to feel unloved like that ever. I never want them to
Yes.
sit in a closet in their room and cry. I mean, they can if they need to,
Right.
but I never want them to feel like they have done something wrong
Right.
to not deserve love.
Right. Not they can go in the closet and cry, but not due to them feeling like
Yeah,
some lack
not
of
due to
love
me.
from
Not due to
parenting.
me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And if they want to go in a little closet and cry like I did, I'll make my way into that little closet with them and give them
Yeah,
lots
we all
of
can
love.
cry. Let's all cry together. It's important. Like, that's a release, and that's another thing. Like with men, like ain't nothing wrong with crying, fellas. If you need to cry, you need to let it out, man. Like let it out for
I
real.
completely agree.
Like for real.
Yeah,
It's
some
like
people just hold it in, man, and just build up, and sometimes it becomes something else.
right.
Some people just think that crying is weakness when
It's
actually
not.
I think it makes you stronger because you're actually validating your emotions
Yeah,
and
dealing with them.
then you can grow from them.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so last one. Love, loyalty, or respect with your best friend.
Loyalty.
Your answers are making sense.
Loyalty, because I want to have a best friend that will be there for me as I'm there for them and care for me as I care for them. And I can tell them anything and they won't open their mouth to other people and tell other people my business. Like I would never do that to them.
Right.
And so loyalty is very important in friendships, I feel. And I want to know if you're going to stay like you say you are, or if you're just going to disappear.
Yeah. Seeing is believing.
Yeah, seeing is believing. I'll see you 1 second and then you're gone.
Right. For real, for real. That's so important. So how can people find you, listen to your music, things like that? How can they really tap into what Jessa Furchess has got going on?
Well, you can follow me on Instagram at Jessa Loves MJ, JessaLuvsMJ. All of my content is on there. There's links to my music, of course, podcasts and interviews like this. Everything is on there. So if you just go to my Instagram page, you can find basically anything.
Absolutely. So you guys know where exactly to find her. It was a definitely pleasure having you on today. I appreciate you taking the time to come chill with us and drop some game, because that's so important, and be vulnerable.
Can I say something
please.
real quick?
Go ahead.
I don't mean to interrupt.
No, do your thing.
I just want to say, everyone that's watching this, thank you for watching this and listening to my story. Please learn how to spread more love into the world instead of hatred. Just take a look at yourself and realize how you would want to be treated. And realize that this world is full of hatred and negativity and injustices. And we don't need any more hatred towards anyone. Just please spread the love and spread kindness. It's so easy. It's so much easier. And it's such a light weight instead of carrying anger and resentment and hatefulness. So I just wanted to say that. Just please always spread love.
What?
It's
Bro,
all for
what
the
are you
love.
talking about, man?
LOVE.
Absolutely. That's how you reach the highest point, people. So until next time, you guys hold it down. Don't let it hold you. Peace.
Peace out.
Baby.
Peace now.
The Highest Point Podcast.
More than a pod, it's a lifestyle.